Kamusta? My name is Adrienne Tacke, and I am a software engineer for a company called Debt Trader here in Las Vegas. The Dev Life has asked me to answer 5 questions about my developer journey, so here we go. First question, how and when did you start your journey as a developer? So the first actual code that I wrote in my life was probably around junior high, where I wanted to create my own MySpace templates. All of the free sites and themes that were there, they were not what I wanted, so I really wanted to create my own. Of course, I had to have the best ones, so this is where I touched on some HTML and CSS to create my own themes. It would be a little while before I would venture back into development, all the way until college, around 2009, where I actually did not go straight into programming or pre-enroll as a computer science major. About sophomore year, I got my first job as a student help desk technician. This is my first venture into the world of information technology. So I was the girl that you called if you forgot your passwords, you needed them reset, or you came into the office and something was wrong with your computer. We would be the ones troubleshooting it for you. Around this time, there was an opening for a software development internship, which I applied for and got. So that's actually where I started software development, and I started programming in VB. Don't tell anybody. Um, that's where I started learning actual professional development and within a professional setting. I've moved around a couple jobs here in the Valley, and now I am here um, as a software engineer for Debt Trader, like I said in the beginning. Second question, what technologies do you usually work with on your projects? In specific, any frameworks, libraries, or programming languages? So for work, we are primarily a Microsoft stack. It is C#, .NET. We were born in the cloud, so we use Azure. We're actually using .NET Core now, and any framework, SQL Server. We're a full Microsoft shop, and that's what we've been using. The front end is currently using Kendo UI based on jQuery, which I am slowly trying to migrate over to React. There are a lot of things that I would love to move over to React, and hopefully by the end of this year and hopefully the beginning of next year, I can start getting into more app development so I can play around with React Native as well for some of our tools. For personal projects and like the hackathon that I'm attending this weekend, I'm probably going to be using React stack, so probably using the create React app boilerplate to start. I'm using that in conjunction with Expo. It's a really good combination, especially for hackathons. Gets you up and going. You can quickly see the code on your phone and work with it very quickly. It's a really good setup for hackathons. And the framework or technology that I would love to actually dabble more into is actually GraphQL and what's the other one? Redis caching. I need to learn more about caching. um, what is the project or application you have worked on that you are most proud of? So when I worked for a company called Healthcare Partners, there was a project I worked on that was the first full application that I built from inception all the way to fruition. And I dealt with everything. I dealt with the data model. I built the schema and updated the schemas. I worked on the API levels, and I also worked on the design. And this project was actually called Clinic Wait Time. If you go to my GitHub, you'll see the white label I did of it in React. But essentially, this project was a nice little display that would be in the healthcare clinics for patients to view. And before, we had this really, really poorly designed, is the nice way to say it, poorly designed site where it was using very, very small text, and it just wasn't a pretty site. But the main intent of this project was to give an estimated wait time to patients for how long their wait could possibly be for their doctor. So I changed this. I created this model to take in when the patient would be checked in and give an estimate on how long their wait would be based on how many doctors are there, what the current appointments were running on, and this, my project, or what was displayed on the TV would be the doctor and a little estimated wait time card, and this is all probably much easier to understand if you have this on the side or go on my GitHub project to see what it looks like. But this would rotate around to view the different doctors. And I also built a little weather widget using Forecast.io. And the reason I'm really, really proud of this project, other than what I made it look like and how much better the user experience could be for it, was that this was the first full application that I built, not just the front end but also the back end, and I learned a lot from it because of all the different parts I had to connect together to make it work flawlessly. Fourth question, what is your current full-time job? So my current job is a software engineer at a company called Debt Trader. We are a financial tech company that facilitates the buying and selling of debt. So it's actually a really, really interesting industry, and there's a lot behind it. And also the platform that we are providing has so many opportunities for me to learn in terms of scaling, in terms of user experience, far more than what I've already done and know and love. And I really, really like it. You see a lot of it on my Instagram, and you probably see that desk a lot, but that's where I've been taking most of my pictures, is at the standing desk there. But I love my job, and I'm not just saying that. Lastly, what advice would you give yourself if you were starting your journey as a developer again? So I'm actually writing an article, sorry, I'm outside, writing an article about this, and what I would tell myself is, first of all, to not doubt myself. Everybody feels like an imposter. I still feel like an imposter sometimes, especially when I come across really, really difficult bugs or things that I can't solve that I think I should be able to resolve within a few minutes. There's always going to be that feeling, but I think before I was very, very worried about proving myself and trying not to look stupid or trying not to ask too many questions. The advice I would give myself is to use all of that time to ask questions. I look back and think of all the coworkers that I had who are more senior than me, and I was afraid of looking dumb in front of them, so I never asked questions. I tried to act like I knew everything when I was an intern. You know, of course I'm not supposed to know everything. So I would definitely ask more questions, stop feeling afraid, and try to understand that the more that I would do things and the more that I coded and the more that I asked, the better I would become and the faster I would actually get to a state that I want to be at, which is feeling very knowledgeable, knowing how to solve problems quicker, knowing how to talk about problems quicker, and what to talk about. But it all falls down to the one thing that I like to say, which is fail faster so you can learn faster. So those are the questions that were asked, and those are my answers for my particular journey. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to see more and hear more. Thank you. Bye.